And then this is another one that's a little bit of a challenging question as well. Who is the woman, the child, and the dragon? So I'll let you start off with that one.
Well, I know the child is Jesus, the Lamb. Um, the dragon is the enemy, Satan, and the woman. I don't have much information on that. What I could say is that she was very, she was like, had the feet of the moon, you know. Um, all I know is that she was very detailed with like the moon, the earth, the stars, and the dragon was trying to stop the woman from giving birth, have giving birth to the child. So I don't. That's a good question as well. I don't know much about it, but I like to um, would like to know more information about it as well.
Okay, and I was looking at the fact that you said the child was Jesus Christ, correct?
Right.
Okay. Now, how do you come to that conclusion for that part?
So the reason why I said this because the dragon the dragon is trying to stop them. So in this case, just how Jesus, just how the people were doing Jesus on earth, from like trying from them to from from them trying to stop Jesus from spreading the gospel and telling them about his father. It's the same way as the dragon trying to stop the child from like growing up and telling the people about what his father is going to do for us. That's what I think.
Gotcha, gotcha. Good mind frame, good thinking because you're adding the numbers together. So I'm going to start off with the woman. I think the woman is the most easiest person to identify because it talks about the 12 stars. When we look at the book of Genesis, when uh, Joseph had that dream of the 12 stars and the moon and the star was bowing down to him. And in that dream, when he told that dream to his father said, well, I and your mother and your brothers are going to bow down to you. So that gives me a reference for that part of the woman description. So that has to be Israel or the nation of Israel. So that lets me know that's her for sure. I got the clarity on that part. As far as the child, I say it can't be Jesus because when you look at the scriptures from chapter 4 and going forward, as you can probably see, I have the section up right here. Revelation 1 and 19, it says, write the things which you have seen and the things which are, which is when it says write the things which you have seen, it's talking about the chapter 1 of Revelation of the things that he has seen about Jesus, the different descriptions and everything else. And then it says the second one, it says the things which are. So that is the time frame of the seven churches, what he is talking about. He's letting you know these are things right now. So this is the time we're in a sense, is that these seven churches are still in effect. So there is nothing that is not finished as of yet, or God's not finished with his work with the church yet. So if we can say the seventh church is the church of Laodicean, and that church of Laodicean is the one that is going to be the one that's going to be the last church. And because if you look at the church of Laodicean, they were lukewarm. So God said, because you're not hot or cold, I'm going to spew you out and basically spew you out into tribulation because you won't receive what I'm trying to give you. So that's allowing us to know that the things which you have seen is the part, that church portion right there. Now, when you go into chapter 4 of the book of Revelation, you will see how it talks about, and John says, and there was a door open in heaven, right? And it says, and he said to come up, and he was in the spirit and he was caught up. So once you get to chapter 4, then the next section comes in, and it says that, let me move the screen down so you can see the portion that I'm making a point reference to. Uh, So going from Revelation 4 and 1 all the way to 21 to 27 are the things which take place after this. So if we can safely assume and say the rapture has not happened yet, for one, so the church work is not finished yet, it's still going through its process. So once that chapter 4 happens in the future, when that will be, I really don't know. We're praying that we will be ready for it, because we're going to be caught up in the air, just like John is going up into the air, into the heavenly realms. So at that time, that's when it says the things which shall take place after this. So that means from this point of the rapture going forward, is that's when all of these things are going to happen. So if the rapture hasn't happened yet, these things are not in place yet. The rapture is the key that unlocks everything else, that opens up, going from Revelation chapter 4 going all the way forward to 21, because 22 is already in heavenly time frame. So that's why I said that it can't be Jesus. This is one argument that I'm saying. That's why it can't be Jesus, because of the fact that the time hasn't come yet for the opening of the seven seals and the judgment and everything else. So that's why I say that. So then, who is it then? So the question is, who is the child? So I would like to think it is the 144,000 that was sealed by the angel, and they had the seal of God upon their foreheads. And those 144,000 are the ones that are the 12 tribes of Israel that will be at that particular time. So they are the 144,000 that we are talking about. So I believe, now I don't have a solid grip on it and say, yeah, I know this for a fact kind of thing, but I believe it is the 144,000, the man child, because if you look at the scriptures and when it talks about them and describes them, they are pure before God. They are sealed with the seal of God on their foreheads, so they're protected or preserved. And so, in this sense, they are the one that's going to be caught up, and they're going to go up into heaven. While the woman, which is Israel, is still going to be the nation down here, and then there's other people that are not the 144,000 that fear God and worship God, because the woman is going to be hiding for 3.5 years, because she was given a wings of a two wings of an eagle to take her, so she can go and hide before, so the dragon could not touch her. So that's what I believe the 144,000 are, or the child is the 144,000, because they're caught up with God. And when you look in the next chapter, I can't remember the particular chapter number, but the next chapter, after they talk about the sealing of the 144,000, it says that they were with the Lamb upon Mount Zion. In a sense, Mount Zion can represent heavenly, in a sense, or heaven itself. So I believe that's showing us that they were the one that were raptured. Now, this is, I'm a little bit kind of not like affirmative, like this is it, but this is what I believe, that's what it is. Maybe someone may have a better revelation or understanding than I do. And that's why I say iron sharpeneth iron. If I don't know, I'm not gonna say I know, because that makes me, when I'm proven wrong, then I'm like you lied to me. I'm like, I told you I didn't know. I used the analogy of the wisdom that Paul gave me when he said, when he was talking in the gospel or in the letters that he wrote, he said, this is what the Lord says. So he lets them know this is what he's saying. What words that are coming out of his mouth are for what's coming from the Lord. But he said, this is what I say. So that allows that flexibility to be able to say, maybe he may or may not be right. But he said that I have the Spirit of God, and what I'm giving you is that. But still, he says to, prove all things, right? He says, test it, try it. I don't have to be worried if you're testing it or trying it. If you got the same conclusion as I did or something different, then we can compare notes and say, hey, let's see what's the difference. And we can say, Lord, give me the understanding, or help us to know what we're doing, so we don't lie to people or we're not deceived, in a sense, right? So, okay. So hopefully, and then of course the dragon is the simple one, because it actually describes the dragon as being the Satan, and the seven horns and the heads and all of these different things is the seven hills, the 10 kings, different things. So that's a simpler one to basically, provide for that one. So. Oh man, that's our time together. I hope you enjoyed it. I know you did. Go ahead and check out the next video. You'll love that one too. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel. and click the like button below. Spread the love with a quick share. I'm Cam Patel, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, let's live like kings.